in the last class, we have discussed about the responsibility of the sub-agent in a law of contract, okay? And we have also discussed that what are the duties, basic duties of the sub-agent towards the agent, and what is the duty of the agent to the principal, that we have already discussed, okay? And under that, till we have discussed section 220, and we have discussed that the misconduct forfeits the remuneration, and in that I have already explained you that where there is the misconduct during agency business, then there is the forfeits entitlement of the remuneration. For example, if there is a agent who is doing any kind of the misconduct in the business of the principal, then the principal has the right to stop enforcing the remuneration. That means the principal has the right to stop the agent from taking any kind of the remuneration for the misconduct he has done. Okay. So next comes section 221. Under that we have discussed agent's line and principal's duties. This is discussed from section 221 to 223 of the Indian Contract Act 1972. Okay. So section 221 exactly specifies the line for sums due. That means agents can retain the principal property unless the dues are clear. For example, I am an agent of yours, you are my principal and I am your agent. In the course of business, I am holding some of your property. For example, you have taken the amount of 5 lakh or 10 lakh from me, and in return, I am working as your agent and I have hold the property of yours, that is some amount of the land I have hold from you, and I am working as your agent for the specific land, and the specific profit that is being arised from the land, that is for example 2 lakh per annum, the benefit is being arised. So we have a contract that I am going to take 50% of the benefit of the land and you are taking the 50% of the benefit of the land. So there is the benefit amount. If the amount is 2 lakh per annum, then you are going to take 1 lakh and I am going to get 1 lakh from the specific land. Okay. So until and unless my dues are clear, until and unless I have the amount I have given you, that is the debt you have taken from me, that is 5 lakh of the rupees, until and unless that amount is being completed, that amount has been completely recovered, the due amount is still there, then the principal cannot deny the agency, or the principal cannot stop the agent to enforce his agency or from holding or retaining principal's property. हिंदी में समझते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, मेरा एक देर इज ए लैंड ऑफ माइन, मेरा एक स्पेसिफिक जमीन है which is been taken by your agency. आप उस जमीन का एजेंसी ले रखे हो to take care of the land and to take the business of the land. Okay. मान लो from that specific land वहां से हर साल 2 लाख का प्रॉफिट आता है, 2 लाख का बेनिफिट आता है, फाइनेंशियल बेनिफिट आता है. ओके. एंड देयर इज द म्यूचुअल एग्रीमेंट बिटवीन यू एंड मी दैट मैंने आपसे पहले ही 5 लाख रुपया का उधार करके रखी हूं, एंड इन रिटर्न आई हैव गिवन यू द एजेंसी ऑफ द लैंड सो दैट वहां से हर साल जो 2 लाख का बेनिफिट आता है वहां से 1 लाख 50% आप रखोगे, 1 लाख बाकी का 50% मुझे रखने का है. ओके. दिस इज द डील बिटवीन यू एंड मी. ओके. सो एज एन एजेंट ये आपका हक है टू कीप द लैंड विथ यू until and unless the dues are clear. जब तक ये एजेंट का जितना ड्यू है प्रिंसिपल के ऊपर वो ड्यू क्लियर नहीं हो जाता, इट इज द राइट ऑफ द एजेंट टू रिटेन द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ द प्रिंसिपल. प्रिंसिपल का प्रॉपर्टी वो रिटेन कर सकता है until and unless the dues are clear. जब तक पैसे का अच्छी तरह से हिसाब नहीं बन जाता जब तक पैसा अच्छी तरह से नहीं चुक जाता तब तक वो अपना पैसा रख सकता है. Got it? Then comes section 222. It speaks about the indemnity for the lawful acts. What does it mean? The principal must indemnify the agent for lawful actions taken under the authority. What does it mean? It means the principal must indemnify the agent. प्रिंसिपल यहाँ पे क्या करेगा? एजेंट को इंडेमनिफाई करेगा. किस लिए? फॉर द लॉफुल एक्ट्स टेकन अंडर हिज अथॉरिटी. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, यहाँ पे आई एम वर्किंग एज योर एजेंट and you have sent me to do certain kind of the agreements at a specific place. Okay, so I have gone to that place and I completed the deal and I did everything, and there I have expensed the amount up to 50,000 rupees. वहाँ पे मेरा 50,000 के आसपास खर्चा हो गया. तो द कोर्स ऑफ बिजनेस आई डिड हियर, मैंने यहाँ पे जो कुछ भी किया किसके लिए किया? आई डिड ऑल इट फॉर माई प्रिंसिपल बिकॉज आई एम हिज एजेंट. एंड यहाँ पे मेरे को जो काम मिला था एज एन एजेंसी टू डू, मैंने वो काम अपना काम सही ढंग से अच्छी तरह से कर लिया. दिस इज माई ड्यूटी, दिस वॉज माई रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी एंड आई कंप्लीटेड द टास्क. ओके, सो यहाँ पे ड्यूरिंग द कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन उस काम को कंप्लीट करने के तहत आई गॉट द अमाउंट ऑफ 50,000 रुपीज एज एन एक्सपेंस. वहां पे मेरा 50,000 का एक्सपेंस हो गया. सो हु विल बी रेस्पॉन्सिबल टू रिकवर दोज एक्सपेंसेस? द आंसर इज प्रिंसिपल, बिकॉज यहाँ पे द प्रिंसिपल is the person for whom the agent is working. मैं यहाँ पे if I am a principal over here, तो मैं किसके लिए काम कर रही हूँ? मैं अपना एजेंट को हायर किया हूँ. If there is my agent, वो किसके लिए काम कर रहा है? वो प्रिंसिपल के लिए काम कर रहा है. So यहाँ पे this is the basic duty of the principal to indemnify. That means to compensate, to pay the amount to the agent for lawful actions taken under the authority. उसके authority के अंडर, उसके परमिशन के अंडर जो जो काम हुआ है, जो जो specific lawful actions हुआ है, if the actions has been done in a lawful manner. Lawful actions means the action has been done in a proper manner, in a legal way. Okay, वहाँ पे कोई illegal activity नहीं हुआ है. For example, I am working as your agent and I did the deal with your instructions. And यहाँ पे I followed all the specific rules and regulations. I followed all the legal consequences. यहाँ पे लीगली जो जो चीज किया जा सकता था मैंने वो सारी चीज किया. And I followed the lawful manner to do the act. Okay. So here, when I am following the legal instructions in a specific way, in a particular way, and I am doing my duty in a proper manner, then as an agent, this is my right to be indemnified. यहाँ पे प्रिंसिपल जो है उसका बेसिक ड्यूटी, बेसिक रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बनता है टू इंडेमनिफाई मी फॉर द एक्सपेंसेस आई डिड. यहाँ पे मेरा जितना खर्चा हुआ है उसके लिए प्रिंसिपल मुझे इंडेमनिफाई करेगा. ओके, देन कम सेक्शन 223. इट स्पीक्स अबाउट द इंडेमनिटी फॉर गुड फेथ एक्ट्स. इसका मतलब क्या है? एजेंट्स एक्टिंग इन गुड फेथ आर एंटाइटल्ड टू इंडेमनिफाई even if third party rights are affected. What does it mean? For example, there is an agent who has done a specific act with a good faith that the act is being governed by the principal. For example, I'm giving you a small example of this. There is one of my agent जो मेरे लिए काम करता है, या फिर the person who really works for my business deals and all. वहाँ पे there is a specific sale of a specific property जिसके लिए मैंने कंसेंट नहीं दिया है, बट देयर इज ए मिसकम्युनिकेशन टू द एजेंट. एंड वहाँ पे एजेंट को ये चीज का अंदाजा हो गया है, उसी को ये लग रहा है इन द गुड फेथ विद द ऑनेस्ट बिलीव दैट ये इंस्ट्रक्शन प्रिंसिपल से आया है टू सेल दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग. ओके, that means this is the basic misconception by the agent. That means this is the basic misconception by the agent that to do a specific act. Okay, there is a specific misconception by the agent कि वो काम करने के लिए there is the specific permission of the principal has given. उसको ये लग रहा है कि वो काम करने के लिए उसी को प्रिंसिपल का परमिशन मिला हुआ है. But actually it is not. The principal has not given permission for any specific activity, but it is the good faith or it is the honest belief of the agent that the principal has given consent for the specific act. And coming under the good faith that it is the instruction of the principal, ये चीज को मान के कि ये प्रिंसिपल का ऑर्डर है, the person is doing the sale of that specific property. Okay, so here the third party rights are affected or not? Yes, obviously it is affected because here the third party who is taking the property, they are having the honest belief that this is the instruction of the principal to sell the property. The agent has the belief in the good faith that he has to sell the property, and this is the instruction from the principal. But in real there is no instruction from the principal, okay, to do that act. So what will happen in that specific case? If the agent does that specific act and there is a specific amount of the expenses he is bearing to do that act, then in that case also the principal has the liability to indemnify the agent. But that too, it is with a certain condition that the agent had no opportunity to reveal the truth. यहाँ पे ये कंडीशन लागू होता है कि वो काम करने से पहले, वो डील करने से पहले एजेंट ने अपने काम पे नेग्लिजेंट नहीं हुआ. He has not been negligent to his work. He was totally sincere to do that act. वो काम करने के लिए पहले से ही सिंसियर था, उसका दिमाग में था कि हाँ मुझे ये काम करना है. There is no negligence on the part of the agent and he did the act with a sincere manner and he had no reasonable opportunity to know the truth. वो इंस्ट्रक्शन प्रिंसिपल ने दिया कि नहीं दिया, उस चीज को जानने के लिए उसके पास कोई रीजनेबल सोर्स नहीं था, रीजनेबल अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं था, इसीलिए इन द गुड फेथ ही डिड द मिस्टेक एंड दैट विल नॉट कंसिडर्ड एज ए नेग्लिजेंस बिकॉज यहाँ पे उसी के पास कोई ऑप्शन नहीं था टू फाइंड अ वे और टू recognize that this instruction that is which he thinks that given by the principal is actually true or false. He had no reasonable opportunity to do that and that act has not been done negligently. So in that specific case, the agent who is acting in good faith are entitled to indemnity even if the third party rights are affected. Even if there is the third party right who is affected, then in that case also the agents acting in good faith are entitled to get the indemnity. Got it? So this is explained under section 223 of the Indian Contract Act. Okay, then comes your section 224 to 238. It exactly speaks about the duty of the principal when the agent is acting in the good faith and when the agent is doing any kind of the wrongdoing or any kind of the wrongful activity, then what is the basic responsibility or basic duty of the principal that we are going to discuss from section 224 up to section 238 of the Indian Contract Act. Okay, section 224 specifies no indemnity for the criminal acts. Okay, that means if the employer hires an agent, if the employer hires an agent to do something illegal, the employer is not responsible for protecting the agent from any consequences of that act. Okay, what does it mean? Section 224 speaks that there is no indemnity or no compensation for the criminal activity. That means if there is any kind of the criminal activity, then there will be no compensation or no remedy for that. No criminal activity by whom? By the agent. Okay. Then section 224 exactly, if we are going for the provisions, what it exactly speaks? If an employer hires an agent to do something illegal, the employer is not responsible for protecting the agent from any consequences of that act. Okay, just take an example of this. For example, I have hired you to do to do an illegal thing. Okay, I have hired you to do a certain thing which is not legal in nature, which is illegal in nature. Okay, so when the principal is hiring the agent to do that specific activity which is illegal in nature, कोई काम है जो कि इलीगल है, जो कि लीगली सही नहीं है, जिसको नहीं किया जाना चाहिए, उसी काम को करने के लिए द प्रिंसिपल इज हायरिंग द एजेंट. Got it? So here, if the agent is giving his consent to do that act, अगर एजेंट जो है वो अपने आप से ये कंसेंट देता है कि हाँ ठीक है, आई वॉन्ट टू डू दिस एक्ट. ओके, सो यहाँ पे एजेंट जो है ही हैज ऑल्सो गिवन हिज कंसेंट फॉर द इलीगल एक्टिविटी. जो इलीगल एक्टिविटी ना था ना, जो लीगली सही नहीं था, जो लीगली एथिक नहीं था, उस काम के लिए भी द agent has given his or her consent to do that task, even if knowing that the thing is not legal in nature. So in that circumstances, the principal is not liable for the activity of the agent. Okay, that means when the agent is doing any kind of the criminal act due to the specific deal or with due interest in that specific circumstances, the employer or the boss is not liable to pay the employee for the act, and the employee also, the agent also cannot demand protection from punishment. एंड यहाँ पे जो एम्प्लॉय है वो अपने आप को पनिशमेंट से भी प्रोटेक्शन नहीं दे सकता एंड उसी को किसी भी तरह का इंडेमनिटी नहीं मिलेगा. गॉट इट? देन कम्स सेक्शन 225. व्हाट डज इट मीन? compensation for injury due to principal's neglect. What does it mean? It means if an agent suffers injury because of the principal was careless or unskilled, the principal must compensate the agent. If a principal sends an agent to a dangerous construction site with proper safety instructions, then the agent gets hurt and the principal must compensate the agent. Okay. Okay. So, if we are talking about section 226, it exactly speaks about the agent's contracts at the principal's contract. What does it mean? It means when there is a contract that is being done by the agent, it is also called the contract by the principal. That means the contract by the agent is also called the contract by the principal. Okay. So, According to section 226, what does it mean? Contracts made by an agent on behalf of the principal have the same effects as if they were made by the principal directly. That means if there is any kind of the contract that is made by the contract, it has the same effect, same responsibility, same liability as if it has been made by the principal directly. Just because the person is being appointed by the principal directly, so the contract made by the agent on behalf of the principal has the same legal enforcement, has the same legal liability as if it has been done by the principal. जैसे कि ये प्रिंसिपल से ही करवाया गए हो, it has the same responsibility and same liability as per se. Okay. Then comes section 227. It exactly speaks about the principal bound only by authorized acts of the agent. What does it mean? If an agent does both authorized and unauthorized acts in a deal, only the authorized party binding to the principal. Because if the principal is hiring the agent, then he is responsible to permit the agent to do the specific activity which he wants to be done. अगर मैं प्रिंसिपल हूँ, मैं अपना एजेंट हायर करती हूँ, then I have the responsibility, I have the liability to do certain activity, okay, which is authorized in nature. Okay. And here, as we know, the principal is bound only by the authorized acts only. अगर मेरे for example I am working under someone as an agent, my principal instructed me to sell the car. उसका एक गाड़ी है, एक कार है, वो कार को बेचने के लिए he instructed me. Okay. Then I tried to sell the car. Got it? So what happened? So I am doing my duty to sell, to do the business and to sell the car itself. And there are certain materials inside the car that is being available. Okay, those are the very very useful materials itself. So without taking the permission from the agent, without taking the permission from the principal, what I did, what I did, I sold the other stuffs that was included in the car. ओके, कार के अंदर और भी कुछ जरूरी सामान था जिसको बेचने के लिए एजेंट ने मुझे कहा नहीं था. बट व्हाट आई डिड, आई सोल्ड द अदर गुड्स अलोंग विद द कार. वो बाकी सामान भी मैं कार के साथ बेच दी. सो टेल मी, द प्रिंसिपल इज लायबल हियर और नॉट? द आंसर इज yes. The principal is liable for the act of the car selling, but the principal is not liable for the act of the selling of the other goods. So what does it mean? If an agent does both the authorized and unauthorized acts in a deal, only the authorized part is binding on the principal. प्रिंसिपल के ऊपर जो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का ऑथराइज्ड पार्ट है ना, अगर एजेंट ने किसी भी तरह का डील किया हो, किसी भी तरह का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को किया हो, उसका जो ऑथराइज्ड पार्ट होगा, उसका जो इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट होगा, जिस पार्ट के लिए प्रिंसिपल का परमिशन मिला होगा, जैसे कि यहाँ पे प्रिंसिपल ने परमिशन दिया था गाड़ी बेचने के लिए. सो द एक्ट ऑफ सेलिंग द कार is independent in nature, is accepted in nature. But when the point comes about the unauthorized act, there were certain instruments that was accepted to the earth, and I sold all those documents, all those materials. Even though I have got some extra amount from that. Okay? In that specific circumstances, the principal is not bound by my activity. वहां पे principal मेरे साथ bound नहीं होगा. Got it? So principal is bound to take the responsibility only about the authorized acts of the agent. एजेंट का जो भी ऑथराइज्ड एक्ट है, जिस काम के लिए एजेंट ने हाँ बोला है, उसी काम को ही एजेंट ने, प्रिंसिपल ने जिस काम के लिए हाँ बोला है, then the author has the basic responsibility or the agent has the basic responsibility to do that particular work. Okay, then comes section 228. It means the principal is not bound if the authority exceeded. What does it mean? If the agent does something beyond the authority and it cannot be separated from the authorized act, the principal is not responsible for the entire act. What does it mean? If the agent does something beyond their authority and it cannot be separated from the authorized act, then the principal is not responsible for the entire act. Section 227, we have discussed that the principal is bound only by the authorized acts of the agent. Okay, यहाँ पे प्रिंसिपल जो है वो सारा काम के लिए लायबल नहीं होगा. He will be liable and he will be responsible only for the authorized act of the agent. एजेंट का जो एक्टिविटी उसी के द्वारा ऑथराइज किया गया है टू डू दैट स्पेसिफिक एक्ट or to perform that specific duty in that specific circumstances, the principal is bound upon that authority. In that specific circumstances, the principal is bound only by the authorized act of the agent. एजेंट का जो ऑथराइज्ड एक्टिविटी है उसी के लिए प्रिंसिपल जो है वो बाउंड होगा. ये हो गया हमारा सेक्शन 227. सेक्शन 228 में ये बोला गया है कि प्रिंसिपल इज नॉट बाउंड इफ द अथॉरिटी एक्सीडेड. अगर सिचुएशन ऐसा है, देयर इज टू एक्ट हैज बीन जॉइंड टुगेदर, एजेंट ने ऐसा कुछ काम कर दिया जहां पे देयर इज ए एक्ट व्हिच इज ऑथराइज्ड इन नेचर एंड देयर इज अनदर एक्ट व्हिच इज नॉट ऑथराइज्ड इन नेचर. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, जैसे कि मैंने आपको बोल रही थी अबाउट द सेलिंग ऑफ द कार एंड देयर इज अ स्पेसिफिक इंस्ट्रूमेंट व्हिच इज अटैच्ड इन द कार. ओके, फॉर एग्जाम्पल कार के साथ साथ आपका उधर से एक ब्लूटूथ का बहुत ही महंगा सिस्टम लगा हुआ था, आपको आईफोन उधर लगा हुआ था स्क्रीन पे. सो यू हैव आस्क्ड द एजेंट टू सेल द कार, नॉट दोज इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स लाइक द आईफोन एंड द ब्लूटूथ, ऑल दोज थिंग्स आप उसी को सेल करने के लिए नहीं बोले थे. बट विदाउट योर परमिशन ही हैज सोल्ड ऑल द थिंग्स. कार के साथ साथ उसने आपका फोन और आपका ब्लूटूथ भी बेच दिया है. सो टेल मी हियर द इफ इट इज एक्सक्यूजेबल दैट हाँ वो फोन और ब्लूटूथ को अलग सा बेचा है और ये कार को अलग बेचा हुआ है, देन यू विल बी रेस्पॉन्सिबल, यू विल बी लायबल, यू विल टेक द रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ सेलिंग ऑफ द कार बट नॉट द अदर थिंग्स. बट हियर इफ इट इज द सिचुएशन कि वो फोन का जो स्क्रीन था, आईफोन का स्क्रीन था या आपका जो ब्लूटूथ का सिस्टम था, दैट वाज एग्जैक्टली अटैच्ड टू द कार. कार के साथ साथ वो इसी तरह अटैच था कि उसी को अलग नहीं किया जा सकता था. सो इसीलिए उसने क्या किया, आपका सारा सामान उधर से कार के साथ साथ बेच दिया उधर विदाउट इन्फॉर्मिंग यू. सो हियर द selling of a authorized thing is associated with something which is unauthorized. यहाँ पे जो है कार का सेल हो चुका है, द पर्सन हु हैज टेकन द ब्रॉट द कार ही इज अवे. वहां पे कार के साथ साथ जो आईफोन का स्क्रीन एंड जो भी ब्लूटूथ बेचा गया है वो भी उसी के साथ एसोसिएटेड हो चुका है. इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल टू सेपरेट द टू एक्ट्स. वन इज ऑथराइज्ड, वन इज अनऑथराइज्ड, बट यहाँ पे अनऑथराइज्ड एक्टिविटी को ऑथराइज्ड एक्टिविटी से अलग नहीं किया जा सकता. इट इज इम्पॉसिबल टू सेपरेट द अनऑथराइज्ड एक्ट फ्रॉम द ऑथराइज्ड एक्ट. सो हियर the principal is not responsible for the entire act. यहाँ पे क्या होगा, for the whole act, for the entire act, principal will not be responsible. यहाँ पे जो सारा पूरा का पूरा एक्टिविटी है ना, वो पूरा एक्टिविटी के लिए यहाँ पे प्रिंसिपल को रिस्पॉन्सिबल नहीं माना जाएगा. गॉट इट. Section 229 speaks about the notice to agent is notice to the principal. If the third party gives important information to the agent while conducting the business, it is as if the principal has also received the information, because the principal has appointed the agent to take care of the course of action. And if there is any specific serious information has been provided to the agent, then it will be considered that the information has been provided to the principal. For example, you are my regular client, you are working with me, and on a daily basis you see that we conduct a course of business, and there is a person who is my agent, who is working for me. You regularly used to see him. So what you did, there is a specific information regarding the business, and you informed those course of business things to my agent. It is the duty of the agent to inform me about the specific information he is receiving. Okay. But unfortunately, take an example that the agent is not giving the specific information. यहाँ पे जो एजेंट है वो कुछ स्पेसिफिक इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं दे रहा है. He is not giving any specific information at all. Okay. So when this is the situation, the notice to the agent has already been given, then it will be considered that the notice to the principal has already been given. And if the agent is knowingly or unknowingly hiding the fact to the principal, then for that activity, if the principal is suffering any kind of the losses or damages in that specific circumstances, the agent is liable to compensate the principal for those specific losses. Got it? So यहाँ पे सिंपली बोलूं तो अगर एजेंट को किसी भी तरह का नोटिस इशू किया जाता है, किसी भी तरह का इंफॉर्मेशन पास किया जाता है, it will be considered that the information has been given to the principal directly. ये माना जाएगा कि वो इंफॉर्मेशन प्रिंसिपल को ही दिया गया है. ओके. ये माना जाएगा कि वो इंफॉर्मेशन प्रिंसिपल को ही दिया गया है. ओके. एंड इफ देयर इज द सिचुएशन जहां पे एजेंट ने जानबूझ के या अनजान में वो फैक्ट को कंसील किया है, नहीं बताया है प्रिंसिपल को, सो इन दैट सर्कमस्टेंसेस, इन दैट सिचुएशन, द एजेंट इज लायबल टू कंपेंसेट द प्रिंसिपल फॉर द लॉसेस बियर. यहाँ पे वो एक्टिविटी के लिए प्रिंसिपल जितना लॉस बियर किया है उस चीज को कंपेंसेट कौन करेगा? एजेंट को करना पड़ेगा. Got it? Then comes section 230. It exactly speaks that agent is not personally liable for the principal's contracts. That means the agent is not responsible for fulfilling the principal's contract. The agent is personally liable under the certain conditions. Okay. So, if there is any kind of the contract or the deal by the principal and the agent is appointed on behalf of the principal to do the agreement of the principal's company. Okay. So here, if there is the specific responsibility or specific enforcement of the duty of the agent to fulfill that mode of the contract, then the agent will, then this is the duty of the agent to do it. But if it is not, if the agent is liable to do the course of business but not to complete the task of the principal or to do the contracts of the principal, then in that specific circumstances the agent is not liable, not personally liable for the principal's contract. because the personal contracts of the principal is totally different. It is totally specified. It will not bound. It will not enforce. It will not prohibit the principal from being independent. to, prohibit the एजेंट टू बी एन इंडिपेंडेंट. यहाँ पे एजेंट जो है प्रिंसिपल का जो पर्सनल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है उसी के लिए एजेंट पर्सनली लायबल नहीं होगा unless and until it is the proper agreement between the agent and the principal to do a certain kind of the contract. इजी लैंग्वेज पे समझे तो अगर मैं आपके एजेंट के हिसाब से काम कर रही हूँ तो आप और मेरे बीच में जो जो काम करने के लिए कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बनाया गया है अगर उसी काम को मैं सही तरीके से नहीं करती हूँ देन आई विल बी रिस्पॉन्सिबल और आई विल बी लायबल. अगर मैं अपना काम सही तरीके से कर रही हूँ एंड देर इज अदर टाइप्स ऑफ द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स ऑल्सो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल देर इज अ प्रिंसिपल जिसके पास 10 अलग अलग तरह के काम है बट एजेंट जो है 2 या 3 स्पेसिफिक काम के लिए अपॉइंट हुआ है. बाकी 7 काम अगर नहीं होता है इज द एजेंट इज लायबल फॉर दैट? द आंसर इज नो. एजेंट को जिस चीज के लिए हायर किया गया है अगर उसी काम करने के टाइम वो किसी भी तरह का नाइंसाफी करता है अपना ड्यूटी सही ढंग से नहीं करता है देन द एजेंट इज लायबल और रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर हिज एक्टिविटी. बट अगर यहाँ पे एजेंट जो है वो अपना रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी सही तरीके से कर रहा है एंड ही इज डूइंग द टास्क गिवन टू हिम so he is not responsible or not liable for the other activities of the principal. प्रिंसिपल का जो दूसरा काम है दूसरा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट से उसी काम के लिए agent will be not responsible. Okay. There are certain exceptions has been dealt under this. The first exception is if the agent acts for a foreign merchant, if the agent does not reveal the name of the principal, and the third if the principal cannot be sued. Okay. So what are the circumstances when the agent can be personally sued for the principal? The first point, if the agent acts for a foreign merchant, if there is a foreign dealer, foreign merchant for which the agent is acting, then in the specific course of business, if the agent is specifically appointed to do that course of business, then he will be responsible or liable for that act. Secondly, if the agent does not reveal the name of the principal, if according to the terms and condition, the agent is not revealing the name of the principal or it is restricted to the agent to reveal the name of the principal in during a course of action, then the dealer or the other party to whom he will sue, he or she will sue to the agent only and the agent is personally liable for that because here the principal is at the hidden screen. यहाँ पे principal जो है वो सामने नहीं आ रहा है वो किसके थ्रू काम करवा रहा है एजेंट के थ्रू करवा रहा है. So the agent is liable for the course of action, not the principal. And thirdly, if the principal cannot be sued, if there is any certain issues in which the principal cannot be sued, principal को sue नहीं किया जा सकता, he has the legal restrictions or something else for which the principal cannot be sued, cannot be brought to the court of action, and the agent is appointed to do the certain activities of the principal with the specific consent. In that specific circumstances, yes, the agent can be sued for the activities of the principal. So what are three exceptions if the agent acts for a foreign merchant? The second point, if the agent does not reveal the name of the principal. And the last one, if the principal cannot be sued. So in these three specific circumstances, the agent can still be personally liable or personally responsible for the act of the principal. Then comes your section 131. It exactly speaks about the rights when the agent does not disclose the principal's name, and then comes the contract made with agent without knowing the principal exist. अगर किसी पार्टी को पता नहीं है कि प्रिंसिपल एग्जिस्ट करता है, स्टिल द पार्टी इज डूइंग एनी काइंड ऑफ द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट विद द एजेंट, देन व्हाट इज द नेक्स्ट सब्सिक्वेंस ऑफ द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, वहां पे क्या होता है. ओके. And the next section 233, it deals with the when agent is personally liable, and section 234 speaks about the belief of the exclusive liability. Okay. And the section 235, it speaks about the liability of a pretended agent when there is a person who is not an actual agent, बट दैट पर्सन इज प्रिटेंडिंग अदर्स दैट ही इज द एजेंट. वो सबको ये प्रिटेंड करवा रहा है कि वो एजेंट है, बट एक्चुअली पे वो एजेंट है नहीं. देन व्हाट विल बी द सिचुएशन ओवर देयर. And section 236 speaks about the no right to enforce contract by the false agent. It specifically prohibits the false agency. ये बोलता है सेक्शन 236 पे कि एनी काइंड ऑफ द एजेंसी विच इज फॉल्स इन नेचर, अगर मैंने किसी को एज एन एजेंट अपॉइंट नहीं किया है, देन कैन दैट पर्सन बी एक्ट एज माई एजेंट? द आंसर इज नो. अगर एजेंसी सही है, अगर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट सही है, अगर सही तरीके से ढंग से प्रॉपर रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस फॉलो करके कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बनाया गया है, देन the agency is accepted. But if the agency is false in nature, अगर वहां पे किसी भी तरह का सही से कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं हुआ है, then in that case the right cannot be enforceable. So here, before doing any kind of the course of action, any kind of the business, any kind of the deals, the agency must be properly considered that the agency is true or false in nature. जो एजेंसी यहाँ पे बन रहा है, इज इट एक्चुअली वैलिड इन नेचर? क्या वो एजेंसी सच में 100% ट्रू है, 100% जेन्युइन है? इज द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्चुअली follows the proper regulations? Those things must need to be checked. Because if there is a false agency, the person is not even an agent, then the activities by the false agent is not considered as a valid legal activity. Got it? Then comes section 237. It exactly speaks about the liability of the principal induced belief. And section 238 speaks about the misrepresentation or fraud by the agent. If there is any kind of the misrepresentation, mistake or fraud by the agent, then what will be the circumstances? In that case, the master-servant relationship will come to the picture and the principal will be liable for the action of the agent to the third party. But yes, the agent has to compensate the principal for his course of action. But yes, the principal is still liable for the act of the agent because the if the activity has been done during his permission and during the course of action. Okay. So these are the things we are going to discuss in the next class. This is all for today. We can drop the class here. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.